A recent article surfaced on the web from, of course, Bloomberg, one of the largest TradFi media outlet companies in the world, and it was spotlighting a recent Ripple deal. Now, it's titled Wall Street Hedged Big Crypto Bet in a $500 million Ripple Deal, and this got posted from Crypto Airy highlighting this article. We have new Bloomberg, 3 interesting article takeaways. Wall Street hedged big crypto bet in a $500 million Ripple deal. Now, this is highlighting a recent move that Ripple did make, which we'll put a spotlight on. However, the main thing that we're looking at here is the fact that investors protected themselves with put options, the right to sell shares back to Ripple at a guaranteed return. This is all based around their, preferences with liquidations. Number 2, XRP plays a key role in liquidity and settlements, capturing 8% of crypto payment gateways. And last but not least, number 3, the deal boosts XRP's institutional credibility, potentially driving price up 312% year to date to $3 to $4 range. Analysts see a $5 plus by 2026 if partnerships, e.g. MasterCard settlements on the XRP ledger, start to scale. Now, what's interesting about this is, we've been starting to see more and more price predictions from TradFi giants. Standard Chartered said like $12 or so, something like that by like 2028. Bloomberg is now saying $3 to $4 potentially, with analysts seeing $5+ by 2026. I just find it very interesting that we're starting to see a lot of these TradFi names putting out articles like this where XRP is spotlighted, and in fact, they're very bullish on XRP. Now, the deal in question here, the main thing that they're looking at was this deal back on November 5th, which was a spotlight from Swell, actually, which was a $500 million strategic investment at a $40 billion valuation led by 2 big names. Number 1 is Fortress Investment Group and Citadel Securities. These are extremely large TradFi names. Now, the full breakdown here is, as you guys can see, 95 billion plus in total Ripple payments payment volume, 1 billion plus in ROUSD stablecoin market cap, 6 strategic acquisitions completed in just over 2 years, 25% of shares repurchased, 3 times growth in Ripple Prime business, 75 regulatory licenses globally. This is the momentum building the internet of value. Now, yes, this is a very big move, and the main thing that we're looking at here is Wall Street, right? Who are these 2 main names? Well, it's because when we think about Wall Street and we think about these big names like Citadel, for an example, yeah, these are Wall Street giants. In fact, they're so large to the point where, almost everyone knows about these names. They're long-term TradFi names. And if we're looking at Citadel, they have over $65 billion in assets under management. They are a very well-known, respected TradFi name. A lot of people have talked about Citadel in the past, especially going even back to like the GameStop scenario, because again, if you watched the documentary on it, then you already know. But the main thing that we're looking at here is, these are very, very large names. These are very large names in the sense of, we're looking at institutional players, we're looking at Wall Street giants, and they made a huge bet on Ripple, a $500 million bet. This is not some small, sort of change to these players. This is a very large amount of money. Now, Fortress Investment Group also was a part of this. And who is Fortress? Well, they have $54 billion in managed assets. They have, more than $200 billion invested, and 2,000 plus institutional and private investors. So again, we're looking at very large institutional and Wall Street names. And they are tapped in with, of course, Ripple for various reasons. Obviously, the main reason is that we are starting to see more and more validation of some of these projects and some of these companies. XRP is still a main focus here around the entire deal, as you guys can see from Airy. But also, we're looking at more and more involvement from institutional players and Wall Street giants. I feel as if, it started with main names like BlackRock and Fidelity, and now it's starting to really expand more and more. And this is still just the beginning phase of this. Now, why am I bringing up all of this? Well, it's because we recently saw a post from Reese Merrick, and we have quick reminder. We've never been in a better position heading into a new year. Some thoughts from my side. We have moved past the idea of regulation being a blocker. Clear frameworks are exactly what financial institutions need to move from exploration to implementation, and we are seeing major strides globally here. RWA tokenization has matured into a regulated $30 billion industry dominated by institutional giants like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, Ondo Finance, leading the charge. Stablecoin supply surging 50+% this year, currently sitting at $310 billion in market cap. Forecasted growth across RWAs and stablecoins set to move into the trillions in the coming years. Crypto ETFs have seen steady accumulation with approximately 29.3 billion in net inflows into crypto ETFs this year. The hype speculative flows have been replaced by sticky long-term institutional capital. Multiple XRP ETFs launched, showing clear institutional interest approaching $1 billion in assets under management in under a single month. Financial institutions aren't just looking to replace their stacks, they are looking to incorporate blockchain tech to improve payment settlement times, cost, and liquidity. It's an exciting time to be building at the intersection of crypto traditional payments and tokenization with Ripple. I'm still not done with 2025 yet, but I am prepared for what is to come in 2026. And again, when we think about what Ripple has built over the years and the names that they've been working with, yeah, they are 100% prepared and locked in for this moment. Now, on top of that, the main focus here is, of course, yes, ETFs. The main thing that we're looking at from this statement is the fact that we are shifting from the hype side of the market into a much more institutional side of the market, where these players are now tapping in and they are locked in on accumulating these types of altcoins through ETF products. A lot of these main holders are, of course, Wall Street giants, institutional names, and that's only going to continue to expand from this point on. Brad Garlinghouse recently made a post talking about the XRP ETFs. In fact, he said, in less than 4 weeks, an XRP is now the fastest crypto spot ETF to reach $1 billion in assets under management since Ethereum in the US. With over 40 crypto ETFs launched this year in the US alone, a few points are obvious to me. Number one, there's pent-up demand for regulated crypto products, and with Vanguard opening up access in traditional retirement trading accounts for Americans, crypto is now accessible to millions more people who don't need to be experts in the technology. Longevity, stability, and community are all underrated themes that matter to this new set of off-chain crypto holders. And yeah, this is extremely bullish to look into because number one, we have clear confirmation around crypto. We also have clear confirmation around crypto projects like XRP that do serve a purpose. There's pent-up demand for regulated crypto products. That's the first one here. That's only going to grow. With this market maturing more and more and us moving away from that hype and speculative side, assets like XRP become more sought after. And this is at a time where the supply is diminishing greatly on chain. We go over here to the most recent breakdown of the ETFs. This is from yesterday's close. $67.7 million of inflows. This is insane. Now, again, these inflows include, of course, spot and leverage positions, but spot volume was still very significant. We have spot at almost $25 million in inflows. We have here spot ETF leaders for the day. XRP, of course, from Bitwise, 8 million, XRPZ 6.4 million, and GXRP at 4.25 million. Looking at the chart here for the ETFs, it's very stable. We're still waiting for the market to bounce back, and I do think that once we start to see the market really bounce back in a big way, that will carry this. In fact, it will carry it just like we saw back here on the initial announcement of one of the largest, ETFs, which was, of course, Canary. But we will see it like that, but on a much larger scale, because when you start to see the price going crazy, you start to see FOMO hit the markets, you start to see emotions take, over, and that will drive these ETF volumes in a big way. But so far, we've witnessed inflows almost every single day since the announcement of this. In fact, I don't think that there was a single day where we saw, outflows in a big way at all. It's been positive inflows every single day since these started to trade. Now, talking about that, looking into how much XRP is locked up, it's over 498 million XRP. This is about 0.4984% of the total supply, well over $1+ billion already in assets under management. This is just from 5 ETFs alone. Think about how crazy that is. And there's still so many more ETFs expected to go live. Like, for an example, even the basket ones, like this one from Bitwise. XRP, one of the world's longest running crypto assets with the potential to reshape how money moves worldwide, now in the Bitwise 10 Crypto Index ETF. And you gotta love the marketing here. I mean, XRP taking over New York City. I mean, it's crazy to see this, but again, Wall Street is starting to get disrupted by these ETF products. Wall Street's loving them. They're eating it up. And Wall Street is also investing into core pieces of the space. And Ripple is one of those core pieces. Now, on top of this ETF, we also have another ETF coming, which is from 21 Shares. 21 Shares did say earlier today, XRP Army, are you ready? This was quickly followed up by the confirmation from CBOE. Here we have from Zach Rector, 721 Shares XRP ETF tomorrow. Here we have the official confirmation as well. December 10th, 2025. This is the US SEC. This is with CBOE as well. And we have here that this is approved for listing. And this is going to happen, of course, tomorrow. So we're locked in on this. This is going to be just another one to add to the list of the growing list, I should say, of ETFs that are already trading live. I'm very, very excited about this. I don't think that they changed anything on the site yet. Yeah, we still have 21 shares. It's still pending approval, but this is that approval for it, which we love to see. And of course, when we think about these ETFs, yes, it's also swallowing up supply on exchanges. We have over here from Coin Bureau, 1.3 billion XRP gone from exchanges in just one single month. XRP reserves fell from 7.03 billion on November 10th to 5.7 billion on December 10th, a massive 1.32 billion decline. That's a huge move. Now, is it just whales buying up XRP? Could be. Is it institutional players buying up XRP? It also could be. But I think that it's both of those combined with the fact that the ETFs have swallowed up well over $1+ billion worth of XRP, which is equivalent to 498 million. Now, a lot of this is OTC, but it's still very significant for disrupting the supply. And also we have over here from Vincent Van Code, as XRP supply on exchanges dwindled down, ETF demand for increases, locking XRP in enterprise-grade custody wallets. There will be a period where XRP price will be highly volatile, which we are seeing here. The lower trading volumes means a much low bag required to move the price, but a sophisticated arbitrage comes online, I'd say by March maybe. We will see ETF trade and price set crypto exchange pricing, and it will be steadier as mature investors and institutions will be holding. I anticipate this might happen by March, but relies a lot on how quickly the ETFs gobble up all the floating XRP in the current shady crypto exchanges like Binance. And yeah, when we are thinking about what's happening here, obviously the supply is diminishing greatly. We could see that by the chart. Binance is definitely a shady exchange. We've talked about them in the past. But the main thing that we're looking at here is there's so much happening around XRP. It's not even just from like these major players investing into Ripple products, which also, of course, involve XRP. We have here that XRP plays a key role from this article. It's not even just about these types of deals. It's also about the fact that we have validation coming from so many key areas for XRP. We have validation coming from the enterprise side. We have validation coming from the institutional side. We have validation coming from some of the biggest sides of TradFi. Wall Street is here in a big way. Institutional players are playing their role. At the same exact time that we're starting to see retail flocking to XRP in a big way, we also see the ETF products performing very well, which means that, real-time major players that are investing into ETFs, they're seeing the value behind XRP in a big way. But also, just like we see from Vincent Van Code, yeah, there's still a lot of things happening around the XRP ecosystem, like, for example, the lending and borrowing exchange, which will be going live at some point in time in 2026. Institutional DeFi is becoming a reality. Use cases starting to heat up. I mean, there's so many core pieces here that we need to look at that affect not only the supply of XRP, but the value and the volume moving over the XRP ledger, which demands XRP in a big way. So I'm very excited about the future here. I think that the supply is going to continue to get, swallowed up by the big whales and big players. And eventually, at some point in time, who knows what will happen? There might not even be enough supply on exchanges at some point in time for retail to buy XRP. I know that that sounds crazy. There's always going to be sell pressure, but if the price is going to continue to rise over time and utility becomes the main price driver, I do think that at some point in time that XRP will become almost, it's going to be crazy, because I think that retail will be priced out at some point in time. I know that I'm being pretty conservative with this. I don't want to, say certain prices or anything like that, but I do think that it will become, one of those assets that, completely prices out retail. And I think that, retail already has been priced out of owning a large piece of XRP supply anyways, and that's only going to get worse going forward. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely like, subscribe, notifications on, because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.